How's it going, everyone? Welcome to our LinkedIn Live event. Thank you for joining us. My name's Kevin Jessup. I'm the COO of JCI Marketing with our CEO, Jason Jimenez Vanover. Say hey, Jason.
Hi, everyone.
There we go. Welcome. We are calling this video The Future of Content Marketing Inside the JCAI. Now, I understand that is a bold statement. I get that, but it's true, and we're going to prove it. That's the whole point of this video. We're going to give you a deep dive of what the JCAI is and how it works and why you should be using it. Don't forget, we are going to be watching the chat in real time. So feel free, message it if you're with us live. Go ahead and put that any questions that you have in the chat, and we will reply to you. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. Jason, buddy, what is the JCAI? Like, what is this thing?
So, thanks for the introduction, Kevin. The JCAI is an AI-based tool that applies our experience and expertise as marketers first and is powered by AI tools to allow you to get content for social media posts or what we've kind of called SEO-ready blogs at lightning speed compared to what you might otherwise wait for or pay in the traditional agency model. That means you're going to simply send in a request, highly similar to the request form that we have for one-off projects with JCI Marketing as an agency. And for the social posts, you'll get a response via email in about 30 seconds. And if you're requesting a blog, you're going to get that response in about 10 minutes. Super excited to be launching this product because I don't want to live in chatbot hell. And this is designed specifically to do that.
Yeah. So riddle me this, Batman. Why did we even make this in the first place? Like, what events led us to actually designing this?
So the day that I watched the world's most popular chatbot come into existence, I realized in that minute, in that moment, that content creators were going to have to evolve. And over the last 18 months, we've seen a plethora of consultants, experts, and writers creating all of this material around how you can better interact with the chatbot and create materials that are going to suffice and be stellar from a marketing perspective. That meant beginning to develop this tool on the back end for our own use to make our lives more efficient. And we realized very quickly that the things that were in our minds for improving operations at the marketing agency had value and should be accessible to people outside of JCI marketing.
That's awesome. And I've been seeing a lot of people um, talking about AI and how it's kind of it's too high level or it gets things wrong. What have you done to remedy that solution so that it's more consistent at a high quality level? That's one of the things that we keep talking about. It's so much more high quality than the other thing that everyone's using.
Yes, definitely.
How did we come about that?
Yeah, so one of the things that tends to occur is the AI chatbots can produce hallucinations. This is because they are based on data that is, well, how shall we say it? Old.
Yeah.
Also, these AI chatbots are built in the same way that a technology exists in the palm of your hand right now, and you don't realize it. If you have ever texted anyone and it has recommended what word you're typing, that is the fundamental basis of a large language model. However, these are a lot bigger. The core difference is that as a marketing agency, we've been creating tens of thousands of pieces of content. So we've seen some of the patterns and trends that emerge that maybe the large language models are not able to truly isolate in their current state because they only exist in conversations like this.
Yeah.
For example, if you were writing about a TMS, we know with our experience, we're talking about a transportation management system. But if you simply Google TMS, what a chatbot is likely to pull is transmagnetic system or something like that. It's basically a fancy word for the system powering an MRI machine.
Yeah.
And it that is the risk because that has more material around it where the AI could accidentally ingest that material and give you something that rather than a system to provide rates and shipping information, you're actually getting a piece of content talking about how to find out if you might have a brain injury. And
Very different.
I don't want to have to sit here and argue with a chatbot.
Yeah.
Now, when that system came out, I knew we needed to figure out a way to better use it. And I am very much open and honest about the fact that I have had full on arguments and yelling conversations via my keyboard with the chatbots. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
So I decided to make it and ensure that it doesn't mess up.
That's awesome. That's one of the big takeaways that I had whenever you were showing me the initial versions, like the alpha version of this before.
It was
Uh,
before that.
oh
It was
man,
bad.
yeah.
It was
and
bad.
but it was really interesting how we were able to set in guardrails to basically guarantee the type of result that we were looking for. In my experience, not using what we've done and using the chatbot, uh, the quality, like you just never knew if it was going to get it right or get it wrong. And I would use the same prompts, but the biggest thing, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, is that the chatbot, we're purposely not saying the name of the other thing. I think you guys have figured that out by now, but
Let's not open ourselves to any
yeah,
legal liability.
it doesn't retain information past a certain amount. And so that's one of the things why it always goes south. You could use the exact same prompts in the exact same order in a new chat, and it'll get it completely wrong when it got it right the first time. And that's one of the things that we figured out by designing it ourselves is like we can have it remember, we can have it retain all the information that we want it to. So
Precisely.
that's one of the best things that sets us apart from using the other tool. The other thing that I've been getting from people is, what about security? There's a lot of people who don't necessarily trust the chat bots or the other AI stuff. They think their information is going to go somewhere, and uh, you know, what have we done to remedy that solution so it's not even a problem at all?
Definitely. So what we've done is created a triple protective layer that ensures your personal information is never exposed to the large language model. This is can feel a bit strange because obviously you're going to want the contact information for your business, your brand, or your organization in it. But the information that is exposed to it is not personally identifiable information that you would not want the public sector or public eye to already have.
Right.
So, for example, the name of JCI Marketing, it would know visit JCI Marketing. It won't necessarily know that it has an origin in the name of our overarching corporation with Jason. Even though I am putting in my first and last name, unless that name is in the company name, the information is never exposed to the LLM, the large language model. Now, so how does it work? There are three core layers, right? First, the AI is just a form submission. in its sense. That is what you interact with. That sends the information back and kicks off the process that puts information into our own project management tool. That project management tool further anonymize it further shields your information by using a unique identifier that is then applied in the large language model to keep the conversation intact and to understand what is happening. Thirdly, the information that comes out of the system at the end is then sent directly to me and sent from me to you via email. So you're never actually in a back and forth on the website. You are simply submitting the request and then getting an email response. The same as if you were scheduling a dentist's appointment with just
Right.
your name and what date you want to go and getting a response. Hey, give us a call. Same type of idea.
Yeah.
Now,
So to recap real quick, because I want to make sure that that's real clear. There's no back and forth. It's
correct,
just a form, one submit, you're done.
correct,
Okay. And then let's see there. So there's no back and forth. And you're only really involved for a quality control standpoint. We want to make sure that everything stays consistent. So that's the only other uh, entity involved is it
correct.
goes straight from the form to the tool that processes everything and then to you and then to the final person. That whole process takes about 30 seconds.
Correct.
That's
Now,
wild.
yes, and that's for a social media post.
Right,
Now,
right.
while we are involved to make sure in case anything were to go awry, we also recognize that this can operate independently of one of us officially authorizing the material to pass through.
Yeah.
So, what we are doing is we essentially reverse audit the output every day to make sure of and identify any potential hallucinations that we see it making those back end modifications and continuously improving the tool. This
Awesome.
tool has been in development for a little over a year. So while the world has only heard of the JCAI in the last 5 days, it has been a nonstop process every day or every few hours for
Right.
the team at JCI. And I would love to show you what the form looks like at this point if you'd
Yeah.
like to kind of get
Absolutely.
some hands on and see
Yeah.
what it actually is.
12 and a
So
half minutes in. I think people have waited long enough. Let's go.
definitely. So this is the JCAI social engine. There are two engines, a social engine and a blog engine. The social engine is very, very simple. First name, last name, email address, a short synopsis of what you want the post to cover. Now, it can run if you were to even put a minimal description in here of an Easter post because it will automatically know who you are, your brand, and what your information is based on your initial sign up because there is a form that asks give us a little bit of information about your organization. Then you enter an access code that is emailed to you after you sign up. The access code is technically like 3.5 layers, right? Because the access code ensures that even if someone were to sign into your system, say you are on a shared computer, if they do not know your access code, it will never go through. So you never have to worry about accidentally staying logged in while you're up somewhere. The only thing that would happen is someone could submit a request, but it would essentially die without an access code or a correct access code because they are randomized. Now, obviously, this one's not really that random here. We also include what links should the post include, what hashtags do we want it to include. This is optional. The AI will not give you a response with more than 5 hashtags. If you do not include any hashtags, it will analyze trends to try to identify what the most common hashtags are based on the overall premise of your post and your organization. So from here, we're going to check our time. And Kevin, can you start a timer for me real quick? I
Yeah,
think
hang
that
on.
this would be amazing to show
We've
how
never done
quick.
this before.
it can row. So
All
let me
right.
just get
All right.
clock
Tell me when.
now.
Start.
So we've hit send. You'll know that it has been sent because it says your submission was successful and it resets the form. It does retain your first and last name as well as the most common email address you have used. Obviously, this one still has my old one, so we have that. Now we're going to pop on over here to our email and we're just going to wait a few moments to see when the response comes in. A core benefit of these responses is that they are structured in the way that would be best for multiple platforms. For example, LinkedIn versus X, formerly Twitter, Instagram versus Facebook. You also, with each successful run, which costs 1 credit to hit that submission button, it takes stop the timer. It will give you 2 full variations of the post. Now, Kevin, what was the time?
Okay. So when you told me to hit stop, it was 55 seconds, but I had the email before you did.
Oh, well, maybe
About
my
10 seconds before.
maybe
But
maybe mine just
55.
went through a bit fast or slower. Maybe my internet's running a bit slow on my end. So this is what you get. So an email saying the JCAI response to your request, the creation of a social media post for your company. Here are a few variations. First one, these are great for LinkedIn. These are great for any platform that doesn't have a character limit. Now, I like this. It works. It has our emojis in there. Now, I will tell you that depending on your machine and your systems, sometimes when you copy this and paste it into LinkedIn or a different feed, it may not capture your emojis. So sometimes you have to copy it and then paste it as a plain text, where you would right click, hit paste as plain text, or for most major browsers, the shortcut is Control Shift V. Now that's the first option. We also get a shorter option here, talking about talking about what it is. This shorter version is within the character count limit on X. It has the core hashtags similar to this, and it has our contact information. Now, those are the first 2 versions. And just looking at these 2, we see that they are valuable. With JCAI, keep your calendar full and your audience engaged without skipping a beat. This type of material does not come out of the world's common chatbots on its own with simply telling it we need a post about Easter and using the JCAI. And in fact, it works so well that we're willing to use this for our own marketing. The post that we went live on Wednesday for this specific event and preparation for launch of the JCAI was created in the exact same fashion you see before you. The secondary option is also here. We have our emojis that create our bullet-like content. We have our final CTA, our final call to action, and we have that. Then at the very end, we have a final note that you now have a number of credits remaining. Ours does have a slightly higher credits than what you might see within yours because our base plan is 6 credits per month, but given that we are developing this, our credits are a little bit higher for ourselves. We do advise everyone to be sure and read the content. No one should publish anything without at least reading it. However, we have yet to encounter a pure hallucination within the social media engine since its creation in the public facing view.
Yeah.
Oh, and did I mention that with the social media engine, anyone can sign up and get a 7-day free trial? Signing up, you do have to provide credit card information. However, it is the same as any streaming service. Cancel it before the end of your trial and you will not be billed. I advise people go ahead and cancel it on day 6, just in case,
Yeah.
to make sure if you don't want to keep it.
And that's the full amount of the credits for the month as well. Like you're not getting a test run. You get the full month right away and you can
Yes,
use all of it.
you could use all 6 credits
Yeah.
in your trial, and as you saw here, it actually gives you two different versions. So it's as if you had two separate posts. However, you might want to tweak a bit
Yeah.
in each one so it doesn't look quite so similar if you
Yeah.
did that. So that's it with our social engine.
For
Now,
for timing's sake, I don't think we have time to run through a blog because that process is much more in depth, and takes about 10 minutes to process once you hit send. Um, so what I would recommend if you're interested in seeing how the blogs work, reach out to us for a demo. We'd love to walk through it with you. We are both available, or just get the free trial so you can try it yourself.
the
But
blog version is not available in a trial as of right
that's
now.
true. You're right.
But what I will show y'all is this would likely be finished before the end of our call because I've already prepared the material. Shall we show it?
Sure.
So the blog engine is a bit more complex. It starts with your name, email address, access code. You provide a short instruction on what you want the message of the content to convey, your call to action link, typically your contact page, your direct call to action. Check out the JCAI. You're going to choose 6 links from your own website. You can see that I've chosen 6 plus our CTA link. This is intentional so that I can show it can be forced. The next thing is you're going to provide a 2 to 3 word phrase that you want the post to rank for. This is something where you may need to have some SEO training in order to make it work. If not, the whole idea is to create content that is meaningful to your brand, and the SEO will follow naturally. You are going to take this text, go to startpage.com. I like Startpage because it's easier to mess with than incognito tabs. Search for it. Under the part that says web results, we need the links. So you would go right click, copy link. We need the first 4 links that appear here. You paste them into the respective places. You're going to choose a piece of content and a URL for source material. I have chosen a HubSpot article that I want to link to in this. And then you will hit send. The exact same process that you saw run a while ago is going to now occur on the back end. Kevin, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and start that timer again, just in case it finishes before we finish up today. I
Okay.
do want to say that one of the things that we really value is being able to get the material as quickly as possible and without any additional delays. One of the things that you will notice, now I'm going to show this one just from the past, in a response from the blog engine, which costs 10 credits per blog, you get the material in the email itself. You'll notice this is all content that is properly optimized. It has all relevant enrichment and semantic keywords to the original phrase you provided. It is properly formatted. It includes your meta title, your meta description, and an accompanying social media post. It has all of our internal links placed into place, what you saw a while ago. And then it'll sometimes have your bullets in place. We do have it intentionally set to separate the leading part of a bullet from the material about the bullet, because depending on each person, they may prefer to turn them into actual bullets or maybe turn these into H3. It just makes it easier to see. And then you have your final conclusion down here, and you would change out the word conclusion if you're not a fan of that. And you, for the very last bit, we actually have our pure CTA. Now, at the very beginning, we do have a link to a Microsoft Word document where you can actually download the content itself and open it up in a Word file that will have it ready for you. How long does it take? From the time of hitting send to finishing and getting this piece of content back in your hands, we have never seen it take more than 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Compare that to an agency model where you might be waiting a week, 2 weeks, or maybe even a month for the content to come back. Of course, you do want to review this for accuracy, And when you do provide the information in the request of what you want the post to cover, you do want to make sure under the content purpose that you're adding whatever it is that's unique and insightful to your view. That is the core thing that differentiates it from spam generated content. And you just cannot use a chat bot to add all the various bits that you need to have content that is high quality, unique, and not going to trigger spam filters on major search engines. With the blog engine, we have two different plans that are essentially designed to give you either an opportunity to try it out for the first time. It is a lower cost plan. It includes 16 credits. That's enough for one blog plus 6 social posts, 199 a month. That's the best way for you to try out the blog version. However, if you wanted to do something a bit higher, say 4 blogs and 6 social posts per month, we have a plan for that as well. The premium version also includes an automatic monthly keyword gap analysis comparing you and your top 3 competitors to help you know what phrases to target when you're using the blog engine. And we will also provide an annual SEO site audit breakdown that we send. Now, with JCAI Premium, we do have to actually get in and set those up in the beginning. So it takes about 24 a full business day before you get the first full report from us for those. Now, I know that there's probably a question on many people's minds. What if I need more than 4? What if I have multiple brands wanting this to use this? We are in the process of building out a white label solution. However, we do want to remind everyone that this is a AI-based tool. So if you're needing additional work like editing, things along those lines, you may be better suited for an agency model versus the JCAI. Further, we do have a plan Premium Plus, but it is only available to those that have had the JCAI Premium for a period of at least 30 days to intentionally limit the use of this material. Because if you post too quickly from, say, going to posting very rarely, you can actually end up penalized by the major search engines. And we don't want your ability to overcome the traditional barriers to entry in effective marketing to suddenly lead you into backstep. So I hope that this helps you understand more about what the JCAI is, how it works, and there are many additional functions and features that are going to be released over the next 18 months that will take this far beyond social posts and blogs. And I hope to see you there along with the journey. One last bit of note on here. Anyone that is concerned or questioning whether it's going to include images, it does not right now, but it is on the roadmap for inclusion by early summer of 2024. And as soon as it is ready, all existing members will automatically get access to JCAI images along with their social posts. So thank you very much for taking the time to spending some time with us here at JCI Marketing and our advent and launch of the JCAI. And remember, your content should be magical, and you can get it even if you don't quite know where a unicorn is.
Did you just come up with that?
I did. I totally did. So I hope that y'all all have a great one. It kept playing in my mind while I was doing it. And
That's
if any of you have interacted with us in the past, you know I like to have a lot of fun when we are working. We also are doing a lot of stuff from consulting roles and things along those lines. So sometimes you just need to have a little bit of magic in your content, and we really strive to make sure that that happens.
Well,
All
thank you
right.
guys. Thank you for joining. Again, if you had any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, I'm still keeping track. It's been 6.5 minutes, and we haven't gotten a response yet, but on average, it takes about 10. When I see that it's completed, I'll put it in the comment section. Okay. Again, if you want to see this in more detail, you can always go for the free trial. Again, it's 7 days, or you can get a demo from us. So just message us, DM us on LinkedIn or wherever you're viewing this. You can reach out to us. Anything else, Jason?
No, sir, I think that's it. And I look forward to helping you all create content faster, better, and without ending up in some sort of chatbot hell and feeling like you have to suddenly become a prompt engineer. So have a great one, y'all. Bye bye.